Hello everyone, and welcome to RNG University. On tonight's episode of Friday Night Explorer, we're going to explore Hinata. So, do you remember this card back when Kamigawa was first released? Well, Hinata the Dawncrown is the theme of this deck, but we're not playing Commander, we're playing actual 4 cards in a deck, standard, or not standard, but typical format, right? This Explorer format, so we can have 4 Hinata, and our trick is to play Hinata, and then, of course, cast Magma Opus, the card that has all the 6 targets and only costs 2 if we have Hinata out. So it's an amazing combo, it's an amazing deck back in the days, and now that it's rotated out, a lot of people can't run it because we don't have Goldspan, we don't have Magma Opus. And Hinata Dawncrown, even though it's still technically in the standard, it's not as good without this big finisher. It is in Explorer though, and what else is in Explorer is Divide by Zero, a card that was banned because it was so good. So let's look at the deck list itself. In the early game, we have 2. Let me put this to the side because it's not an early game card. We have 2 Voltic Surge, right? Just early game removal. In Explorer, we definitely need it. There's a lot of elves. Then we have 4 Jawari Disruption, just a counterspell. Just a counterspell that can also be a land. And then we have 2 Negate, 2 Test of Talent. If you've seen my channel back in the days, you know I love this card. This card is so good. Test of Talent basically takes out your opponent's win con. If they have, Invoke Despair as their win con, if they have Magma Opus as their win con, if they have some sort of a, extra turn spell as their win con, it's gone. Test of Talents counters all of them. And then we have 1 Abrade and 2 Fires of Prophecy. So this is just a kind of a switch up because I need to kill like a Greasefang deck, right? They bring back their vehicle, I need to be able to blow it up. So that's what the Abrade's for. And the Fire of Prophecy is just additional removal that can serve as a impulse draw, right? You can pitch a card back to your grave or back in your deck and then draw an extra card. So some useless card in a different matchup can be exchanged, or a land can be exchanged for something. Something else that you can get is from the next card, 4 off, Divide by Zero. Return target spell or permanent with mana value 1 or greater to its owner's hand. That's amazing, right? It's a spell or permanent, so it's a counter spell basically. It goes back in their hand, but we learn. So it's like Remand, but we learn. And we have a learn board. We have Environmental Science, reduced to memory for another exile, 2 teachings for card draw, 1 intro to prophecy for, scry 2 and draw, 1 intro to annihilation for a definite removal, and a mascot exhibition for a bunch of creatures, temple opponent out. So that is the learn board we can get from Divide by Zero, and if we get a learn card we don't really need, well, put it back with Fire of Prophecy. Then we have 4 Fables. Of course, Fable help us ramp out a little bit better. And 1 Prismari command because it has targets. So we can technically cast it for 2 with Hinata out, but we can also cast it on turn 3, kill something our opponent has, and get an artifact to ramp us out. We saw how important this was in the Goldspan Epiphany deck. It's also very good in this deck. And then for Hinata, the Dawncrown, of course, the theme of the deck, Flying Trample, so Flample, 4 cast for 4. That's not what's important. What's important is spells I cast cost 1 less for each target, and spells my opponent casts cost 1 more for each target. So their spell's going to cost a lot more just to target us, and all of our counterspell costs 1 less, which is important. All of our burn spell costs 1 less, that's important. The Divide by Zero now only costs 2, that's amazing. And Magma Opus, the card that has 6 targets, gets reduced by 6. Amazing, amazing. And March of Otherworldly Swirling Mist, not Otherworldly Light. Swirling Mist basically phase out any number of creatures I want, which they phase out X target and it costs X, so it gets reduced by the number of creatures I target. It's a 1 blue mana to phase out anything I want, right? It's not that good because it only temporarily protects us, but it's good enough to run 1 off. Then we have 3 Goldspan Dragon. We talked about this last time. Goldspan Dragon is definitely good in getting a lot of mana out. And then we have 2 Sublime Epiphany, the card that also has a bunch of target. Counter-target spell, counter-target activated ability, return a permanent, create a token, target player draws a card, right? There's at least 4 of these, or at least 5 of these, or at most 5 of these targets that reduce this to 3 mana card. Can you imagine if you can play Sublime Epiphany for 3 mana, how good that effect would be? And then Magma Opus, the 6 target card, right? So it does 4 damage, divided any targets I want. So if I choose 4 targets, that's 4 damage. That's 1 damage each, that's 4 targets. Then it taps 2 target permanent, so that's 6 targets. We also get a 4/4 elemental and draw 2 cards. All of that for 2 mana. If you get Hinata out, this is an insane card. So that is kind of the deck list, but because this is Jeskai color, right, it's white, it's red, it's blue, so we have to make sure that we have all of the colors fill into the deck. But the only white card is Hinata, so we don't need that much plains. We have 1 plain, 1 Otawara, 1 mountain, 4 Deserted Beach, 1 Hallowed Fountain, 2 Hengegate Pathway, 2 Riverglide Pathway, 1 Steam Vent, 4 Stormcarved Coast, 1 Needleverge Pathway, 1 Sacred Foundry, 4 Sundown Pass, and 1 Raugrin Triome. So you can see the land base is kind of everywhere, and that's because I don't have all of the lands, right? I'm not going to go craft these lands. I'm going to use the lands I already have to try Explorer, because Explorer is kind of a janky, fun format. Now, there's a lot of things you can replace, right? If you don't have all these lands, fit in any of the dual color lands that you have that is red, white, and blue, but make sure that your deck is tilted toward blue and red, because a lot of our cards are blue and red. Luckily, we still have cards that make treasures, right? Prismari Command, Fable, Mirrorbreaker. We can discard the Magma Opus for treasures. These cards make treasures to help us cast Hinata. We only need 1 white mana to cast Hinata. And we need 1 plain because we can search it out with Environmental Science, and that's all we need to then cast Hinata. So that's kind of how the deck is going to work. Let's try out this Explore nonsense. Hopefully it will be fun and not just mind-crushingly depressing. A lot of times when I play Explorer, that's how I feel, because our opponent is playing real decks and I'm trying to jank out. Once you achieve a rank badge, you cannot lose it until the season ends. That's fun. What about rank levels? Because I always cycle between like get Platinum 3, Platinum 4, or Gold 3, Gold 4, because I keep playing different decks every day. Volvic Magic. If I go to Platinum 3, I cannot rank down to Platinum 2 or Platinum 4. That would be fun. Opponent still goes first. Well, we're used to this, right? We got 3 lands. That's good enough to keep. Now we have a 4th land. So the first card we're going to play is probably Needleverge. We still have white, so not too much of a worry. There's a lot of pathways in our opening hand. Alright, we're pulling against Azorius Control, so immediately I'm already not having fun. So our opponent's the control and we are the combo. So hopefully their control is not too much for us, which it might be. It might be. Actually, I just put a white out. We'll put a white out. If he plays anything, I'm going to Prismari Command in response. But if he doesn't play anything, we're just going to drag this out. And this is going to be a very long game. Come on, Liliana. Shark Typhoon. Wow, okay. Thanks for giving me a target. Deal 2 damage, create a treasure. Okay, he's not going to play anything again. So we're not going to play anything again. Oh, we got something we can play. So, do I need 2 red for the dragon later? Or do I need 2 blue for the Sublime Epiphany? Let's get 2 blue out. I might need it. So let's get Fable. Absorb. How about you don't absorb? Does he have a 1-mana counterspell? Because if he does, I get really far behind. Alright, he doesn't. I use up my treasure for that. Now let's hope I can get somewhere with this. Because I had to use up my negate to counter his absorb. The fairy's probably coming out this turn. No? Alright, it's a counter spell? Or is it Auron? I don't know if that deck runs Auron. But I don't know if I need March. I probably don't need a Braid. And I probably don't, well, definitely don't need Voltage Surge. This is fun. Okay, I have an Epiphany that I can cast whenever I need to, I guess. Psycho Sensor. This is the one deck I did not want to run up against because we're a combo deck, and combo deck kind of just get eaten by control counterspell decks. But at least we got a Goblin Shaman out that can help us kind of do tempo stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has a counterspell somewhere. If I cast Hinata, I kind of just get it countered, right? So I have to kind of hold this back for now. Oh, it's a Doomscar. That's interesting. Alright, I can try to counter it. He has 4 mana up. If I counter his Doomscar, and then he... Actually, why do I counter? I can just march. He can try to counter my march. I don't really need the march. But if he counters the march, then I can play Hinata on an open board, which would be insanely good. Absorb. Alright, that's exactly what I wanted him to do. He's got 1 mana left. And I gotta divide by 0, that's insane. Alright, so if I Goldspan right now, I would have... I would not have enough mana, huh? Yeah, Hinata is good, but if I Goldspan, I get an extra treasure. But then I have to sack 3 treasures to get out Hinata, because Hinata is 3 different colors. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Alright, let's just get out of Hinata then. I have a Divide by 0 and a Sublime Epiphany, so something to hold up. This costs 3? Why does it already cost 3? It costs 6. That was weird. It cost 3 for a second there, and this costs 2 for a second there. But I guess he has priority, so these cost regular price. Regular price, exactly. Alright. Foretold. See, cost 3. Pass. Go to my turn. We'll play a land. And we'll play the Goldspan Dragon, see what he does. He only has 5 mana. It costs a lot more to target my spells because of Hinata. So landing Hinata is very good against control deck. And now I don't know what he can do. Otawara. Hey, look, this costs 2 now. Let's see, I can counter target activated trigger ability. Return target non-land permanent. Do I want to return target non-land permanent? Create a token. And then I can draw a card. Do I have a non-land permanent I want to return? I do not, huh? Target creature I control, so I'm going to copy a Goldspan. Target player, I'm going to draw a card. Auto pay to 3. This gives me a lot of treasures, too. It's a 5. That's probably a Doomscar. I didn't attack my land. Do I want teaching? He has 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 mana out, so I don't think he can play that many spells. So I'll take Teaching. Five mana. He can still Doomscarve. Fable. And I can cycle the Triome if I need to. I can also negate whatever spell he plays. Ooh, another Goldspan. I'll just cycle the Triome now. And a Divide by 0? Okay, good luck. March. Let me get a treasure first. And I'm gonna negate that. Is that a GG? GG. Unless he has a Gonjo. He already played in the Gonjo. Another March. It doesn't cost 1 more to target, huh? Why do you pay 1 then? I don't know. That was interesting. I don't know why he did that. Also, I'm not sure what's in my wish board right now. What is in my wish board? Can I do 1 damage somehow? I cannot. Well, whatever he plays. I have a Divide by 0 that could help. A land that doesn't help. Yeah, that's a GG. I GG too soon that last turn, I guess, but now it's game over. Blue-white controls, man. It's just, whenever I play, I lose. Whenever I play against them, they lose. But whenever I see them being played, they're like so good. They just wreck everyone's life. I don't know how. Maybe we're just bad at Magic. I'll admit, I'm very bad at Magic. But that was fun, right? That's how Hinata works. Turning off your opponent's cards. Also, it kind of turns off the arena somehow. Or arena, I don't know how to say it. The calculations on arena somehow. Because all the numbers seem to be off. Hey, we get to go first. That's a world first. I'm going to say hi. I don't have enough lands. I'm going to drop a blue. I might have to Jawari something. Alright, mountain's always a mountain, so let me drop that first. Hinata's good, but it's another blue deck, so it's probably full of counterspells. Let me get a Magma Opus down to get a treasure. This might be warranted. Hallowed Fountain, that's interesting. Okay, this could be 2 life whenever, right? So let's have it enter tapped. I don't need the 2 life right now, and I don't need the extra mana. He's not playing 2 spells next turn. You can have your Impulse. I need the counter spell to counter the things that matter. And that is his Genius something something. Yeah, let's stop the Fable from happening. Wow, now we can just have Hinata out, which is kind of wild. Hinata out with a negate. How's he gonna stop this? Of course, it all depends on what we draw next. And this is a spell, so then you still use abilities that doesn't cost 1 more. Huh. Well, that's just going to give us so much mana that we will be able to overrun our opponent. Sick. Yeah, you impulse that. Maybe he's looking for a big burn spell. But then we have a counter spell that they can't really reverse counter because it costs them more mana. Well, I'm not regretting tossing my Magma Opus, but I do wish I have another one in my hand right now. The best thing about Magma Opus is that it does 4 damage to any target. So I can deal target to him, target to myself, and I can also... Oh, look at that! Thank you, deck. Okay, so I don't want to tap... Huh. This actually would work, right? If my Magma Opus... Let's see. 1 damage here, 1 damage to myself, 1 damage to Hinata, 1 damage to Goldspan. And I want to tap your bluffs. That makes it only cost 2. But because I target Goldspan, I get another Goldspan. Wait, no, I get another treasure. Why did I think I was going to get a copy? I was thinking of the Epiphany. Alright, GG. Well, I guess I found a super hidden tech, which is Hinata basically stops blue decks. Alright, so that's something. This deck basically stops all the blue deck that targets my stuff, which is what I kind of hate a lot of times. So good for this. Magic Knight. That's a cool avatar. Hey, we get to go first again. Let's keep. Say hi. I'm gonna drop the deserted beach and try to get the treasure out again. I do think the treasure is pretty important compared to being able to cast it with Hinata. It's very good if we were able to cast it with Hinata, but the thing is, we need early game sort of ramp out. Also, I don't know what our opponent's playing. Probably an island, or something that's blue right now. Watch it as they play it, it's gonna have blue mana. It doesn't! So for the first time in our life. And it's Gruul, which is really interesting because I did not expect it. Well, if it's Gruul, I don't know if I want to counter his spells because I might need the mana and I might need to Magma Opus later for the card draw. Oh, and look at that, it's Jund. Now it's less fun. It's a lot less fun with Jund. We didn't get Dot Seized. Is it Dot Seized? Yet. It's gonna happen. There's black. There's gonna be Thought Seize coming. But we didn't get Thought Seize yet, so we might be able to do something. If he Thought Seize us, we're definitely gonna pitch the Magma Opus for a treasure. Our opponent is doing the rope dance. It's funny how we still call it rope, just because of Hearthstone. This is definitely not a rope. This is the sand clock, whatever it's called. Hourglass, there you go. Careful cultivation. You're too careful. Kill the ramp. Always kill the ramp. Always kill the ramp. I don't like wasting a card on a nothing, but he basically played a spell, right? He played a spell, I played a spell. Let's look at it that way and I don't feel as bad. What I do feel bad is not having lands. So he wants to pay a 3 mana card. He doesn't play a 3 mana card. We'll Fable. And that can help us pitch some of the cards that we don't need in our hand. This is Jund, but I don't know what deck this is. Is he just trying to get out Liliana? Is this like the old Jund from modern days? I'm not sure. But this is going to be a long game, just from the fact that our opponent is Mr. Rope. You should kill the ramp. No, it's just a cycle. Alright, good. So he wasted his turn. Look at those little people. How come he get... Oh, I get little people too. Look at these little people. They're watching our match. And hopefully they're cheering me on because that's an elephant and they're going to stomp them. Courier's Briefcase. Whoa. I am so confused. I think this is a standard deck that just kind of found itself in this meta. Alright. I don't think I want to Hinata, and I definitely don't want to Fable. I need lands, right? So yeah, let's pitch those. Are you serious right now? Wow. Alright. Well, I thought we were having a good day, but I guess this is the game that Shuffler decided we lose. How many cards do we draw? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We drew 3 lands out of 13 cards. We have a 27 land deck. So, there's that. Guess Magma Opus is going to graveyard. Is he going to play anything? Please play something. Oh, look at that, Liliana. Do I want to just counter it? No. You can have it back in your hand. Environmental sciences, please. Alright, let's get a red mana out. Get a mountain. We only have 2 anyways. Well, we only have 2 lands to get out anyways, so... Yeah, this way we can pitch the Magma Opus if we need to, or we could just negate. If he tried to play Liliana again. Because it costs 5. You can play it again. Why did he pay 6 land? Oh, because it's a tap land. That is weird. Create 2 zombie, mill 2 card, return a creature card, which, what does he have? Nothing. Or destroy all non-zombies. Exile target creature. Let's not have that. Ah, that's not good. See, this is a land that's tapped, right? So, if he plays Liliana, I can't really stop it. Oh well. This is the game where we lose because we don't draw lands. That happens a lot, so... I don't really need to attack right now. I feel like it's better to hold up Kiki-Jiki as a threat that he don't remember. If I attack, he might remember that this is a good card. Oh, he just transmogrified into Traxa. That's not really that scary. It's not that it's not scary at all, but it's just some card draw, right? What does he have? Thoughtseize, that's not fun. We're probably gonna get Thoughtseize. What can he take out though? Because if he take out the Goldspan, then we're gonna Magma Opus. And if you take out the Magma Opus, we're gonna Goldspan. Let's see what he chooses. Opus? Okay. So, we will... Goldspan? And... this is whenever it gets targeted by a spell. So... not much we can do right now. I think we just die, right? Yeah. Alright. Can't go over that because we got our Opus pitched, and our opponent has actual lands, unlike us, playing off 3 lands for the first half of the game. Frustrating. Frustrating as frustrating can be. Let's play one more game. Probably gonna lose this game too, but you know what? I really like this deck. Back when it was in the standard, this was probably one of my go-to decks to play. There's a lot of thinking involved, and it's not, you know, top tier, so not everyone expects it. We get a lot of go first, but we don't get a lot of lands. So, since we don't have a lot of lands, I'm going to play the Jawari. Well, actually, no. There's no reason to do that. This is a tap land. Let me play that first to keep my Voltage Surge live. I might need it for next turn. I don't need it for this turn, so let's play the Jawari now. Red-white. Red-white deck. Oh, Illuminator. No. Get out of here, you. It's just a Boros target deck, which Hinata will make short work of that. Hoplite, okay. Okay, so would he have anything to target and protect it? He probably does, right? So let's just deal 2 damage and create a treasure token. I need the treasure, so this is target player. Dang it. I should have targeted Hoplite. Because this is target player, I thought it says you create a treasure token. Now I can play Hinata. Makes all his target cost 1 more. It'll cost 3 for him to kill something, so this might be good. Or I can divide by 0 his next spell. This is big risk, big reward, right? Yeah, let's play it. I still have 2 divide by 0s, so could be useful. So I guess counter spells. This is basically a Thalia. Yeah, you got it. That's how you want to play the game? You can play the game that way. And GG. I don't think they know what they're doing. Amish hacker? Maybe you should stop hacking and start learning the game. Alright, well that's all I got for today. That is a fun deck to play with, for sure. Where's my Hinata deck? It was somewhere. There it is. Yeah, I would definitely recommend playing this in Explorer if you have a chance to. It's extremely fun. There's a lot of thinking involved. The deck itself is very convoluted, right? And there's not a lot of 4-offs. The 4-offs are Magnum Opus and Hinata. Those are the cards that you definitely need. And Divide by Zero and Fable are a really good card early game to kind of help you sustain your board presence and remove your opponent's board presence. Divide by Zero is an amazing card. It's not a counter spell, but it counters a spell, right? That's so amazing to think of. And yeah, this whole deck, it's very fun. There's basically 67 cards in the deck, so it's a lot more thinking involved as to what kind of card you should play at what point in time. I love it. I think it's a great deck. And that's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.